All right, good morning. Good morning. I hope everybody either saw the message, got the message, remembered the message from yesterday that we were starting just a little bit late. It's good to see everybody. Let me make sure I have my chats up here. You should be seeing my screen. This is interesting. I'm actually glad. Um, um, because that was an interesting open. So it'll be good for us to chat about it. Where is my chat? Share screen. Okay, that's what I wanted. I was like, why does this look differently? Admit and annotate and chat. There we go. You can see. All right. Well, happy Monday. December the 4th, only 20 shopping days left till Christmas. I I'm trying to get my kids, well, my son especially. He's 21, he's getting close to graduating. Both my kids have an unhealthy love of expensive sneakers. Yes, like here, like I don't understand that. The whole sneaker movement, you know? What they pay for sneakers, I want to get shoes, pair of jeans, couple shirts, some socks. Like that's from Costco. But so I'm thinking instead of paying like a couple $100 for shoes, I bought him a bar of silver. We'll see what happens. Of course, though, I didn't get to apply technical analysis to the commodities like I would like to, and I think I bought it at a overbought high. That's not great. All right. Welcome out to the weekly opening bell. Let's dive right in. Here's the disclaimers. Here is our agenda. Opening futures. Well, it's not the futures now, it's the opening range. We'll look at the opening range. We'll see what it means to us, what news we have. We'll look at the economic calendar, what our posture was, and mindset for open trades. If you traded some industrials, if you traded some financials, if you traded any technology that gave an early sign, I'm a little frustrated with PLTR today because I held it. I took a little bit of profit on my financial trades. How much? Well, I'm not at a half mode. I'm at a quarter to a third mode. So it was about a quarter. But I did not on PLTR. I kept the whole thing. If you were in it, tell me what you did with it. And so now it's I might end up breaking even. I mean, at least it's around break even, maybe slightly underwater. It's kind of ebbed back and forth. So I'm super curious if you're in it or you traded it, what you are doing with yours. But we'll go through and talk about trades. What are you doing with them? We'll talk about the what the opening range means and where we are now relative to it. We have a shopping list. I mean, we have a short list of stocks that are plenty of things that actually look pretty good. And then we'll talk about the trading plan section of the week. So let's just dive in. That's not what I wanted. Okay, so let's start with this. If you missed it, our posture improved again. Long-term trend, it's pretty stable. You can see we really aren't seeing much change there. But our short term, the buyers definitely continue to show strength. The volume has continued to show strength. Interestingly, it is can I post the link here? Yeah, somebody's trying to get in. Invite, copy link. I thought someone couldn't get in. Boom. All right, how fast I am. I love Discord. If you haven't signed up, please make sure that you jump in and start participating. I sent another link out. Bob, who isn't here this morning, said he was able to get in. What else? So this was interesting because major market dropped, right? Major market dropped. Sector rotation stayed the same. Volatility. So that was our one one spot where we had a little bit of a loss, but overall improved. So we're looking for bullish trades, definitely, right? Definitely I am. So all right. The economic news, what do we have? Factory orders, nothing really there. Remember, it's employment all this week. All about employment. It is job openings tomorrow, expected to drop a little bit. Oh, we had. So here's what's going on right now. Let me refresh this. So the S&P is down 0.6, the Dow 0.3, the NASDAQ 1%, the Russell's up a half. Up a half. Stocks retreat from rally as Fed doubts swirl. I don't know. I don't know that there are Fed doubts swirling. Who says that there's Fed doubts swirling? I disagree. S&P 500 faces a rocky December. Interesting. But this is what I saw. Spotify. Now, here's the thing. It's their third round of layoffs. It's their third round of layoffs. So that's more company specific than it is economy specific, in my opinion, because we're really not seeing much of that. But remember, that's what we're looking for this week is labor market information. So we have job openings on Tuesday. We have ADP private sector employment report Wednesday. Expecting it to go up from 113 to 120, which is stable. It's maintaining. That's not a growing, but we don't really need a growing. We've got jobless claims on Thursday. Same thing. We haven't even gotten near 250. For just a few weeks, we got to like 260, 270, and then right back below 250, then right back down to 200. I'm trying to find a 4-week rolling average indicator where someone produces it for me, so I don't have to. Because I heard about that and I'm like, oh, that would be interesting. Because then I think if the 4-week average got above 250 or 260, maybe even 275, I'd have to decide. I'd have to look back at it and see if I could see what it looked like around 2000 and 99, 2000, what it looked like in 2007, 2008, what it looked like in 2015, what it looked like in 2022. So, okay. And then on Friday, we have Department of Labor expecting 190. That is still growing. 150 is about stable, right? 150 keeps you at a level. 190 is a little bit more of a growth still. So it's all about employment. Today's heat map, what's going on? Well, you can kind of see it's tech, semiconductors, communication services, and Amazon. So it's kind of the big seven, right? Who's doing well? Financials still doing well. That's where I found most of my trades last week was financials. A little bit in consumer and industrials, right? These were the ones we were waiting for here. These are the ones that were a little bit more active in showing the momentum. Consumer defensive, we don't need. Healthcare, we don't need. Energy, we don't need. Materials, we don't need. This is all your defensive stuff over here that's not doing much of anything. So I would say overall, we're in a good place still. Nothing's changed. Nothing's shaking it. We're still either looking for opportunities or starting to assess if we think they're not coming, because Google and Meta don't look great today. I can tell you that. We'll go through them together. But the Fed Watch says we're still at 99%. So, okay. Let's get to our watch list. That's what we want to look at. Let's get to the watch list. So, are you in bullish trades? And if so, how are you feeling? You are you holding up? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Okay. Apple. I did trade Apple. Apple is not working right now. Okay. Yeah. Great. It's not stopped me out. This is gonna happen. You've already seen it happen probably where you get in and then the next day it comes down. But did it break support? No, it's still sitting right at the same support level it was here, 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 and we're still here. So we're at support. What is it losing? Yes. If you took it with me, then you know, yes, it's losing a little. Does it still look good? I think it does. I'm not going to close it yet. It's not wrong. Is it against me? Yes. Is it wrong? No. Those are my questions. Adobe still looks like a great setup. Right? I mean, I don't look at this like, oh man, tech is falling apart. I look at this like, whoa, looks strong. When these sellers are done, I'm ready to want to jump on in. Aflac back. I mean, it's fine if you traded Aflac or AIG. AIG was mine. I know some of you did Aflac, some did AIG. Looks great. It's holding up. AMD semiconductors have pulled back, and it's funny because I actually tried Intel, and I ended up getting out of Intel just a little below break even last week, and I'm glad I got out because it's not doing great. But this looks fine. I have no problem with this. I'm good with it if it pulls back even down here to like 115. Amazon, fine. Pulling back. It's been choppy through here for sure. Great. Then let's just wait for this next signal and then see if it starts to settle down. Anything in financials, it's overextended. You missed it. My definition of too late, remember, is the first momentum candle. Transition, momentum. That's your last day. Your last day to catch this would have been Wednesday, right? That would have been the last day, Wednesday. Ideally, you would have caught it on Tuesday. That was the best signal right there for anything financial. You're going to see that every financial looks just like this. And some industrials too. They've been moving very similarly, very correlated, industrials and financials. Also, if you said good morning and I missed it, I apologize. I'm a little out of sorts with this late start, but good morning, everybody. Press, Stephen and Perry, especially. Boeing, same kind of a deal. BK, overextended. BX, City. Oh, look at City has so my two are PNC and City. PNC and City are the two that I'm in, and this one has moved back into positive territory. Fantastic. I did, however, take that quarter to a third, closer to a quarter on both this one and PNC. Took those already. Felt great about it this morning when it opened down. Now I'm like, oh, well, what? I'm not. It's not like I'm feeling bad about it now. Did the right thing. I did what I was supposed to do. Capital One, same place. Oil, kind of sideways. Costco, that's a tough one. I'm thinking, but if you look at this, it's not really moving yet. So yeah, still gonna be patient. Tell me if I catch one of these that you're thinking about, or you're in, or you're wanting to trade. Copart. All right. This is my line. It's coming down. You can see we had big volume and then same candle, less volume. Then today we're down a little bit, but I don't think we're going to see a lot of volume. This thing holds up around this $49.5, $50 level. I would trade out of this as support bounce. Yeah. Absolutely. CrowdStrike. Nope. Just waiting for it to pull back now. DHI, I know a couple of you are in this one. I'm not, but looks good. Can it keep going? That's the question. Dow looks pretty strong today. Fastenal looked like a signal on Friday, but it was a tough one because it was such a big candle. Gold has pulled back a little bit. Okay. I'm going to take an informal poll. I need to get some interactivity going here. And we're going to lump these two in. We're going to look at Google and Meta because they're very similar, you can see. Option A. This is a pullback. And you're still willing to trade bullishly coming out of it. Option B. This is a sell-off. And you're no longer willing to trade this as it finds a bottom. Option C, you're just not sure. And the rule is when in doubt, sit it out. ABC. Give me your answers. I need answers. C, press says, I don't know enough, or I'm not sure enough that I'm going to take a position. Got it. I'll tell you right now, I am leaning towards B. I'm seeing this now as a sell-off. Right. I was really saying to myself, now it's sitting right on top. You can see it's right here and here and through here. So it's like, can you make an argument? Yes. Sold half. Okay. Okay. Now you're in puts, Doug. Is that right? I believe you're in puts on this thing right now. So the sell-off for you is, yeah, giddy up. So, but I definitely see it. So Perry is more of a B. So I'll tell you this, for everyone who's answering, Sandra's a C. No one sees it as a pullback and a ready to trade it coming out. I think we're all, somewhat in agreement in that regard. Gap just keeps on pushing the strength in the consumer discretionary. Clearly, we can see it's there. Same with Home Depot. IBM. IBM is hard to characterize, I think. It's shows up as information technology. And I think IT sits in the tech space, but it could go either way with communication services, I think, with what they do. Anyway, it's I took this trade here and got to like here and thought, oh, that was pretty good. And then it just, man, this is what's hard in a state of momentum. That occurred as the stock went up marginally. And then all of a sudden, bam. Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough one to say, oh, I'm jumping in. ICE looks reasonable for a late financial play. I'm not doing this one because I already have two that are on. And I do feel like the financials have moved a little, but if you're thinking, hey, can I still catch something? This would be the thing I'm thinking about. This was the trade. I told you that last week I only anticipated one trade and this was it. So I took this in here and then I caught this and I was like, yeah, look at that. Amazing. Then it pauses and I'm like, oh, I don't know. And then it pulls back and I'm like, oh, nope, and out. Slight loss. Glad I'm out because that's a much bigger loss now. And I'm less inclined. And semiconductors as a whole. What's the semiconductor ETF? Why am I blanking on it? If you remember the symbol of the semiconductor ETF, tell me what it is. Can't I remember this thing? Fox, no. Index. Is it XSC? Nope, that's not it. Okay. Never mind. We'll keep going. But semiconductors are well, we'll see Nvidia in just a second here. Look at small caps. Small caps continue to show increased momentum, which we know is a piece of our posture that's missing. That would add strength. So certainly we would like that. JP Morgan a bit overextended. KKR pulling back. Meta looks more like a sell-off than a pullback. That's the problem, right? Microsoft is a little starting to look that way too. That's the concern. Is, I love Microsoft now. I'm starting to look at Microsoft as a tech leader. I mean, it's always been a tech leader, but even more so with its finger in AI. This is a bit concerning. We want to see what it does to stabilize. Netflix, same thing. It's like all these that we're starting to think these are going to be pullbacks. Now they're accelerating. We'll see. Yep, it's not great in the tech right now. Here is a consumer discretionary. This looks fine. Still looks good. So there's some tech that are off, some that are on. It's a little ambiguous. PLTR triggered. I took my loss and I'm out. So how did everyone do? Took a loss on PLTR. Not great. Let's see. When did I end up getting out? Does this fit with the seasonal? It's a great question to ask. Oh yeah, there it was right there. Bing. Out. Son of a gun. Does that fit with the season? No. Let's bring it up. Well, you can kind of see here, this is where we are now around early December. Let me get my drawing tools. That's about where we are now. So in the scheme of our seasonal, great call out, Sandy, by the way. Yes, this a mild pullback here fits. Leaning towards the finish of a Santa rally that does continue into the first week. So we would expect that to extend on out like that. Yeah. So that matches what we're seeing now. So can financials survive while there's a little bit of a pullback? Of course they can. Absolutely they can. Absolutely. Okay. So yeah, but it does suck to take a loss. Took a loss on INTC, took a loss on PLTR. Oh, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Oh, did anyone keep any hedges? I actually had shut my hedge down too, so didn't really help today, but I don't think it would have mattered that much anyways. What I'm getting on, what I've already booked or what I'm getting on financials is more than making up what these small losses. These are barely worse than break evens. Well, PLTR was. That's not true. PLTR was worse. Intel was not. Barely worse than break even. So that was no harm, no foul. PLTR definitely was more than that. So, okay. Great question. Let's keep going. PNC. Love it. So strong. Did anyone else take this? We talked about this one. There was like this, was just begging you to trade it right here. Please trade me. Trade me. It's been a good trade. Took about a quarter of it on Friday. The rest of it's sitting pretty good. QQQ. You guys are quiet today. Probably saving your energy for tomorrow when we have our first options foundations course, which is going to be amazing. So, also my birthday, don't forget that. RCL, bullish but overextended. Roku, looks fine. I like Roku. Roku for communication services, going to keep the group together. Love it. Shopify, looks strong, pulling back, ready to set up. Absolutely, right? I think they put Shopify as communication services. Nope, information technology. But I really see it as being retail oriented, you know? SMCI looks okay. What pricing model does Schwab use? Are you talking about options? And are you talking about Schwab or Thinkorswim? Because Thinkorswim is now Schwab. And if it's an options pricing model you're talking about, it uses the Bjerkson Stensland, couple of Nordic mathematicians, I believe. Bjerkson Stensland. So Black-Scholes is the one everybody's heard of, but nobody uses it anymore. It's outdated. After Black-Scholes, work got put into a new model called the binomial model. After the binomial model, is the Bjerkson Stensland's kind of the natural progression. So, okay. Snap overbought. SPY. So let's look at our range. You can see the buyers tried to come in and they couldn't. We gapped down, we tried, and then we tried to push out of that range, and then we fell back in, and now we're down here. If we can get back above this range, we end up at 459. If we break this down, I think we end up at 453. But I still think we're going to be in consolidation mode. So, yeah, what are you doing? You're managing any open trade you have through this. Are we looking for new trades today? Probably not necessarily, right? 6 months. So, yeah, I mean, look, if this thing pulls back a little more and it got down to here, would we still trade bullishly out of this? Well, yeah. Remember what I said? We're trying to see, like, what's the next trend line? Is it going to be something like this? And then all of a sudden, I don't know. We're trying to figure it out. But the bulls, clearly, the bulls are in control. Every time it looks like the sellers are coming in. This is our only selling day since back here. Don't forget. Until today. This might be another selling day. That's our second selling day in a month. So yeah, let's not make too big a deal about it. Tesla. Let's delete my lines. Tesla looks actually setting up. Consumer discretionary. I'm a fan of their Cybertruck and severely disappointed by what they're putting out by price and performance. I might ask for my $100 back. I don't know. I don't think I'd be in line to actually get mine till like 2025, 2026, but still, maybe they'll improve it by then. And the price will go up significantly. UBS, overextended. UNP. Oh, I don't know why I didn't on this one. I was looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, I was right in here and I was thinking I could catch this here. And I just didn't. Did anyone trade this one? Right, might be running on snow by then. Cars are going to be powered by the by the carbon monoxide we breathe out in the car. VIX. Now, here's something interesting. I said I'm not going to use this as my consolidation, because if I did, that would trigger a put. That would be a half a put, a half a hedge. What I said was I'm going to instead, I'm going to change my color. I'm going to instead use this line here coming across these tops. So there's still a little bit of upside on this before I'm like, oh no, that's not great. If it breaks 14, I'm going to buy, a hedge. If it pulls back like this and then turns up, I'm going to buy another hedge. That would be a higher low. So as bullish as I am, if things fall apart, I'm gonna react. I'm gonna react very, very quickly, right? And so, okay. Okay. WMB. Oh, that one too. I was like, man, this is the best oil. This is the best energy, but I didn't take it. Did not take it. Walmart. That's why I don't like Walmart right now. You can see it held that resistance and now has broken that support. What would I think? I think it's going to come up here and possibly keep on coming down. Don't love it. XLB. Materials. You can see communication services. That's about it. If it gets beyond that, nothing there. And I'm going to be very picky with anything that I choose to trade in that realm. Energy still kind of sideways. Financial strong, industrial strong, technology not. It's consolidating. It's possibly setting up. Staples steady, utilities steady, discretionary steady. Yeah, okay. Manage what you have. Be patient with new things. Nothing's changed. Just because we start Monday with a selling day after we improve our posture, not a good time to day trade. I would say for me, no. I don't day trade anything under 20% VIX personally. But I'm not really that drawn to it. I don't have the desire for it. I trade it out of necessity because the market's like, you need to. If you want to trade it, well, certainly you could. But yeah, I mean, if I look at the SPY on a 5-minute chart, I wouldn't trade this bullishly because it broke to the downside, right? So what would I trade if I was day trading? Well, if this moves up here and it gets to this point and rolls over, that would be definitely a short trade. Versus if I had something where, let's say it recovered all the way up to that point, and then it came back down only to like in here and then turned, then I would actually trade bullishly right there. So it's the same principles, right? I wouldn't trade bullishly unless I break the consolidation and get a higher low. Or right now, I would say I'm more convinced that the sellers are in control. So if it doesn't get past this level, if it only gets up to that point, which is the bottom of the opening range, remember the opening range is important to us. You can see we touched it right there and we touched it right there. So if we get back up to this and drop, then I would be going the other way. Yeah, I mean, there's maybe some potential there, but not a ton. This thing just isn't moving that much right now. Great question, though. Certainly worth asking. Okay. That's our watch list. Let's take a quick peek at our trading plan outline, because this week we are talking about section 6 record keeping, which means you're not actually doing your work on your record keeping, or I mean, on your trading plan. You're doing your work here in your trade log. If you haven't, make sure you download. If you're doing both stocks and options, then have both logs. If you're only doing one or the other, right? But this is the time right now that you raise your record keeping game up. You level up to get ready for the next year. Very, very important for us in that regard. So, yes. Make sure of that. Okay, so going forward for this week, tomorrow night, there is, and don't forget that with everything we do on the trading plan, in the content library, there is a trading plan section, but there's also components that correlate to the trading plan in the emails, or excuse me, in the Trading Foundations course. So go check that out. Join me tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, day one of December options month extravaganza. Wednesday morning, we are going to have a delayed meeting time again. The 8 a.m. or just slightly after 8 a.m. meeting time on Wednesday. I will send an email to remind you. When you get to the waiting room, I tried to put a picture that says we're meeting late. So if you came early, did you see that there was a message that said we're going to start late? Yes, Fred. Okay, great. Thank you, Fred. I wasn't quite sure. I thought I got that set up right, but when I don't have my teenage kids around to verify things for me on technology, I'm always a little uncertain. Awesome. Okay, so everything looks good for this week, I think, still. Options start tomorrow. Wednesday, we meet a little early. That's our plan. Thank you very much, everybody, for your patience, for coming out, for hanging out. I hope you feel like you're in a good place. If you have concerns, I mean, if you're like, man, I just don't feel like I'm getting something right, bring them up. You might not be the only one, and I'd love to talk about it, right? And if you're like, hey, I'd rather you not mention my name. I have no problem with anonymity. So, and Stephen, I mentioned your spreadsheet, but holidays, I went Christmas shopping with my wife, and so I have not had a chance to look at to review in detail, but I mentioned it to everybody, so now everybody's waiting to know. So we'll get it done. All right, thanks, you guys. You guys have a great rest of your day. I will see you tomorrow evening, as always. Oh, thank you, Fred. Fred snuck a compliment in, so I had to stop. He said, "I like watching work." We're gonna keep going, man. We're gonna go through this. You're gonna see it's a very methodical way we go. So I'm glad you appreciate that. And don't forget my birthday tomorrow, Steven said. You guys are awesome. I love it. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. See you soon.